Somebody's gonna come undone. There's nothing we can do. Everybody wants to touch somebody.
Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Everyone is a product, and everyone needs marketing to succeed. Let's talk about it right now on the C-Spot. Going to market with Wendi and Peter.
Hey, I am. There you go. Thank you. Tony comes to the rescue almost every week. So, Peter, hi.
Hi, Wendi. I think...
You think what?
Oh, okay. For a second, I couldn't hear myself.
Well, okay. Can you turn mine down a little bit? We go through this every week.
Right. Turn your headphone level down?
Turn my level down just a little bit.
I don't know how to turn your headphone level down. Sorry.
Okay. Tony! No, you just did it. You just eliminated me.
Can you hear now?
You just eliminated me. You just made me really, really freaking loud now. That's way too loud.
Okay.
Okay, so Tony maybe come in. But here, let's start the show.
Is that a little better?
Welcome to the C-Spot.
Yes, welcome to the C-Spot, going to market with Wendi and Peter.
And this is where we talk about all sorts of shit.
Yes.
Sorry. But first, Peter, today is June 26th.
June 26th, 2014.
We always say that, by the way. We'll introduce our guest soon, but I always do try to talk to you even when you're invisible online. Because we don't know if somebody in 20 years will be digging this archive up somewhere and watching how weird they were back then in 2014,
yes.
Right? Okay. So, Peter, this, I wanted to make sure to tell everyone at the top of the show, because once we start talking to our guests, we'll lose all control of time. And what I wanted to say was, if people aren't watching the live stream,
right,
they always can go to our YouTube channel, which is C-Spot Run Direct, or just type Wendi Cooper into YouTube and you'll come up with the channel.
Correct.
And all of our shows are there, so you can see if you're listening to them or happen to buy them on iTunes or on Stitcher or wherever, you'll be able to download them.
Right.
I mean, you'll be able to view them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can actually see the visual content that we have on the show also, which is
Totally.
awesome. Okay. So I got that out of the way because I thought of that this morning when I was brushing my teeth. That
it's
we
good to
don't
mention
remind people that they can see the visual if they have listened to it audio-wise. Because we do have a boatload of people that just download the audio, which is really cool.
Right.
But for guests like we have today, it's a visual show.
Yeah, there are some good visuals today.
It really is an amazing visual show. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today was Go USA!
Right. Did you hear what happened or not?
When today? Yeah, I think they move on because they all played simultaneously.
They still move on, yeah.
They still move on even though they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually stopped on my way from being up north at my brother's house when he wasn't home, broke into his house so that we could watch the game on Sunday. It was too funny. Anyway, the other thing, really quickly before we introduce the guest, and not to take up too much time, but I had something happen to me.
Did you?
That I abused Facebook for. Yes. I had a client that I worked with for 3 years.
Okay.
Get a feature cover story boasting about everything that he has done over the past few years, and never once mentioned the fact that pretty much 99.99% of what was done by me for him, or by C-Spot Run, my company, by him. Go figure. 15 versions of commercials, their positioning, the branding, the rebranding of this guy, the whole thing. And never once mentioned me in this feature article on a trade magazine. He got the cover. So it pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Did mention everybody else that is now he's going to be working with, which they're going to take my commercials and just edit them somehow.
Right.
Good luck with that, everybody. So anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to you ass. Okay? And you know who you are, because that is not a cool thing to do. Nor is it a cool thing in a trade magazine that I've been in this trade for 20 years to not mention me, knowing
Yeah.
I was involved in that campaign. So that sucks all the way across, and I will not forgive that. So don't do it to me again. There you go.
We'll
It's
never have that guy
it's
on the
my
show.
It's my show. I can say what I want to say, and I have to say that.
Yeah, totally.
They also burned me for a whole bunch of money. So
Oh, no.
It's not good.
So I'm guessing they'll never be guests on the C-Spot.
No.
they've been guests. The writer of the article has been a guest.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
So anyway, all right. So without further ado, that's such a weird thing to say.
It
Without
is. I
further ado,
wonder where that came from.
I do. Okay, we have great guests in the studio today. Two very handsome gentlemen. One is. Are you married, Bart? By the way.
I am not married.
Okay. Good. I am, but I don't care. Anthony, you are.
Yes, you know my wife.
Sorry, Alicia. I know she's watching too. But anyway, we have two really creative gentlemen in the studio. I'm sorry if I'm not going to pronounce your last name. Is it Bart or Barton? Do you want me to call you Bart or Barton?
Barton.
Barton. Sorry, Bart. No, I'm kidding. You'll learn. Barton.
Good luck.
Sohljem?
Sohljem.
Sohljem. Now, I have spent some time in that part of the world, so I should have known that. Yeah. But anyway, Bart grew up in Fargo, North Carolina, but not that part of the world that I spend time in. I'm talking about,
The name is
Mother Country.
Norwegian,
The
yes.
Mother Country, yes.
North Dakota.
And has lived in Los Angeles for the past 12 years. But you are an amazing, your company. Anyway, we're going to introduce you first, and then Anthony, because Anthony's going to talk about how he's a writer and entrepreneur and a actor.
And all the above.
Yeah. Okay, so Barton,
Yes.
can you please talk just a little bit about what you do with your amazing business?
Yeah.
Who you are?
Well, the amazing business is a passion for using old reclaimed wood to create beautiful furniture, beautiful wood products, anything that we can save from being burned, thrown away, and just turning it into something beautiful. That's the bottom line, the passion for the business. So
And the business is located where?
in Studio City,
Okay.
California. Yeah.
And do people contact you? We're going to talk more about this later, but you have the website, and the website is?
It's BartonSol.com.
So people can actually open up a separate browser while they're watching the show, and they can see exactly what you do and all of the things that you've created, which are many, many. Now, Anthony.
Yes, love.
Anthony is Celia.
Celia.
Alicia Coppola's husband.
That's correct.
And father of three
That's
beautiful
true.
girls.
Yes.
An actor, an entrepreneur, a writer, and I am assuming your partner in the business.
Yes. Me and Bart share a passion for this woodworking, and he constructs most of it, and I come in and finish it, do the finishing on it.
Oh, you do the finishing
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah. But we also have a passion for going to get the wood. It's a whole process, tracking people down, tracking houses down. We got some funny stories, or at least one for sure, about some crates that we got one day.
Are those the Lockheed crates?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I went online. I was looking at it, and I
Very
thought
good.
that those were really cool.
Yeah.
So I live in El Segundo, which is where, is that where you got the Lockheed crates? Or
No.
Can you
No.
tell that story really quick so we don't forget?
Go ahead.
Sure, I'll start, and Bart, come in.
And
We-
they are on the website. So if you're watching or whatever, you can go to the website and you can see the Lockheed crates.
Yeah. We were sitting in the house one day having a meeting, and Bart was on the computer, and he's like, wow, look at this. Somebody's giving away free deck wood. We like old deck wood, old fence wood, all that gray look.
Yeah.
So we called up, and we decided to meet the guy on a Sunday morning, right? And it was 6:30, and where was it again?
It was early.
Sun
Valley.
Sun Valley, yeah. And we pulled up, and it was like a mob hit. There was out in kind of in the middle of nowhere with these little squat houses that look kind of run down, and there's these big chain link fences, and we looked at each other like,
It's either mob or crap.
right, something's going on out here.
Two big dogs that were about to kill us.
Yeah, we walk up to the
that would
fence.
be crack.
Two huge,
Yeah, right.
two huge dogs, and we were like, "Whoa, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. I hope this wood is something special." But it ends up that we get met by a nice guy, lets us in, and walks us out into the back, and what seems like there's not a lot of real estate at this place opened up to this huge plot of land, and with horses, and one of the horses was about to give birth any second.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So anyway, we started going through the deck wood, and then all of a sudden we looked at those crates, and we decided.
Yeah, we looked at the deck wood, which was great, but someone had come and taken a lot of it away. And we were looking over at the crates, and they were 12-foot long crates from World War II.
They're from World War II?
Mm-hmm.
That a guy had collected and stored the props, ammunition, everything in it from World War II. And there were hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And so
How did they get them? Isn't that part of like the magic of what you do is like the story behind the wood,
That's
right?
the thing.
That's
yeah.
the best thing. All the wood we build with, there's an amazing story behind it. It's pretty special. So, but this guy had just bought the place, so they were just there from the previous owner, so we couldn't really get the full story of how he collected all these. But
Right.
so we worked out a deal and just started tearing them down. And
Did you work out a good deal? I mean, the
Yeah.
guy obviously
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
didn't even care about him, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
But he
had-
knew he had something, People know.
He did.
Yeah.
What kind of wood were they?
They were just pine, but stamped for the government, stamped by Lockheed Martin.
They're aged beautifully. I mean, and then once we get done with them, it even looks better. But
Yeah.
Like they were protected for a long time? Or does that really matter when it comes to wood?
It doesn't really matter because we're going to treat it and
Right.
make it right and make it
So
beautiful.
what did you make out of them?
Well, that's what's on the site is two barn door roller TV covers. So they slide in and cover the TV for an outdoor area right by a bar.
And we're actually going to show an image of that too.
Yeah.
yeah, the TV's set in the wall, so that when the things close, you don't know what's behind it, and then you pull it open, and there's a TV behind there. It's really cool. Bart
Yeah.
came up with that idea. It was great.
Yeah. Just incorporate them, and then it's a great way to cover the TV, and you
Yeah.
know, because the TV's in the outdoor element.
How did you
so-
guys come up with this idea? I mean, you could take me back.
Well, okay. I mean, I've done woodworking my whole life, which Anthony has too. And growing up in Fargo, my uncles.
There was
did it.
nothing else to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Just always built with wood. And we, let's see, my girlfriend and I, we've been together for 2 years. And when we first started dating, she had me over. And in the basement of her, well, not a basement, but in her house when they remodeled, it's where they used to store the old heaters. Were stoned in heaters underneath the floor.
And this was in Fargo?
This is in Studio City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was a basement in Studio
Well,
City?
It's in a house, but they were built in the 30s, right south of Ventura.
Because for you that don't know out there in the world, we don't have basements
Right.
in Los
No,
Angeles.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's like a 6x6
Yeah.
storage. Something was under there, like a heater or something, like he was saying.
Yeah, so anyway, when we first started dating, we were enjoying some wine out in the backyard, and we had to go get more, and she showed me where this room was. And so it's through the kitchen, and we lift it open, and we will have a picture of it on the site. And so anyways, that's where she kept her wine because it was a perfect temperature down there.
Oh my God, is this where you made the wine?
Yes.
Oh my God,
This
the
is
wine cellar.
That turned
Yeah.
into the wine cellar. So we...
And that was one of your first projects?
That was my first reclaimed wood project, yeah. So we went and purchased wood that was from the 40s, and it's just Douglas fir. And the wine cellar, they're built with pine, but all the reclaimed wood is around it, the floor, along the walls, and everything like that. And when we went to purchase the wood, it was very, very expensive. That's where the
light bulb went off.
the light bulb went off, and
I see.
I started searching for homes being torn down, anything that I could get my hands on, and that's where the business started.
Where you could get so when you're looking, so that's half the fun. It's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah. I mean, we call ourselves wood hunters
Yeah,
sometimes.
very
Or how about wood chasers?
Yeah.
Something.
amusing.
No, well,
wood
I could be a wood
chasers.
chaser.
Right. I could see
Yeah.
a TV show there, huh? Just kind of like American Pickers, but you guys are
We've been
Yeah.
picking for
People
wood.
have always said that to us, that we should have our own
Yeah,
show. We've
because
had
you're
a
both
couple
so
people-
photogenic and everything.
Yeah, we'd love.
Well,
Geez, criminy.
How come,
Do
how
a
come-
show.
I'm the hottest one here. Look, you guys, you can see this here,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
My light is too hot on me, and I'm going to do something about that one day.
Oh, I thought you meant literally the hottest
the
one
hottest
here.
one. No,
All right, well, that
absolutely
too.
not. I think I got my competition in store for me today. Okay, so that would actually be a really great thing to do, is to have a show, because you're an actor. You must have some type of
Right.
rope you can pull.
Well,
right?
we've gone down a couple roads. We're some people are out there are interested right now, so we'll see what happens.
I think that it would be fantastic, because how different is that? The
Yeah.
wood chasers.
Yeah.
It's a wood. What was it? Wood
hunters.
Wood hunters.
Well, it'd be cool because you could see the whole process. Like that day that we went out to Sun Valley and we get this wood, and all of a sudden you see us turned it into what Bart turned it into, that beautiful
Yeah, that'd
barn
just be
door
a
roller
great
thing,
show.
right?
I
And
would
we have
watch that
kind
show.
of, we have that happen all the time.
I wouldn't want too much advertising of that, because then you're going to get. I mean, you're going to go. People are going to start charging a lot of money for, like, oh, the wood chasers. I mean, the wood what? The wood what?
Wood-
The wood
yeah.
hunters. The wood chasers. I
There's
can't
a-
say the wood hunters.
Hey,
The
Barton,
wood-
move into your left just a little bit.
Like that.
Yeah, that's a little better. You're
Yeah.
getting obscured by Anthony's microphone, actually.
Oh.
By Anthony.
Oh,
I
you
cast
know
a
what?
big shadow.
When we have the two people in this seat, there's always somebody that thinks they're getting one-upped. Whatever. But anyway, okay, so back to that, because I think that that's really cool. So you would have the show, you would be the wood hunters. But what I'm saying is that, the people who have the wood, that you're going to go find, like Aunt May in the middle of,
Right.
Paso Robles, that still
Yeah.
has the old house that, is on a hay farm and not a winery, but she's got all of this stuff in the storage room or whatever.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you want to go find, right?
We also
Go ahead. I was going to say it sounds cliche, but we want the wood with the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And Bart always brought up at the beginning, and we talked about it because his family's back in North Dakota. Is like our dream would be like to go back to an old barn in North Dakota that somebody doesn't want, and we take a road trip, and we tear that barn down, and we bring it back to here to California and turn it into a bunch of great stuff.
Isn't it cool to
Wow.
just maybe go on a road trip and see what you find on the way?
Be amazing.
Just the
Yeah.
unexpected discoveries that you can find, and just because I would think that most people take wood for granted.
Yeah.
That's
Why I think that's the sad thing out there is that people tear these houses down and they just get dumped. All these old.
especially when they're, where do you think you find the most, the best treasures?
Well, a lot of the great homes are Beverly Hills mansions now that are coming down. The wood is amazing. It's old redwood. In fact, there's a bar on the website that is made from that redwood from a mansion that was just torn down on Roxbury. I think it was like 619 Roxbury, right off Sunset.
Is that the bar with the stools and like
Yes,
the open patio
yes.
area?
Oh,
Yeah.
those stools are cool.
Yeah, I love those
Yeah.
stools.
He made those out of wine barrels.
Yeah.
Like, that's where
Yeah.
that's where this comes from, right? See, I do a little bit of homework before I come to
Proud
the
of
show.
you. Good job.
So that bar and those stools came from there.
Yep.
Yeah, those are just amazing looking.
Yeah, the wine barrels were from Paso Robles, but that wood is all from 1922, and was in a mansion in Beverly Hills, and it's an amazing story of the guy, and it's all stamped from Aberdeen, Washington, so it's just amazing. But that would have gotten dumped. I would just happen to be driving by there one day, and on my way home, and I saw it starting to get piled up, and just went and talked to the general contractor and talked him into.
And he probably said, "Shit, take it."
Yeah.
Get it
it's-
off my back.
Saves them
Yeah.
a ton of money.
Right.
And I made a deal with them and built them some furniture, and that helped get the business rolling too.
So, are there certain places in the United States that you think are better hotbeds for reclaimed wood than others?
I would think that all the old towns.
Like on the East Coast?
Yeah, like a lot of upstate New York towns and places like that have been around since.
And they've
I don't
used
know,
a lot of
1600s,
wood on the
1700s.
interior,
Yeah.
but not necessarily on the exterior, because they do a lot of brick and stuff like that. Indigenously, you wouldn't use exterior wood anyway, right?
Well,
Is
yeah,
it?
that red-
the barns.
Yeah, the barns,
Yeah.
the redwood that you see there is all from underneath the shingles.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's where all the wood is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of underneath the
Here in
shingles.
California, because we build
Yeah.
our homes with wood.
Well, they used to in the past. Nowadays, it's plywood that they
Right.
use, but
That's not really wood, though, is it? Is plywood wood?
Well, it's
It's a bunch of wood pressed together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
This
they call
is-
it. Ply?
They used to use the real wood.
Yeah. We want the real wood.
So what's the most expensive wood?
That redwood. You know,
Because they can't do redwood anymore. Can they not destroy
they-
redwood trees like they used to?
you can get it. It's just if you're to purchase reclaimed wood, that's one of your higher priced woods.
Right.
I mean, you can get wood, you know, from all over the country. You know, any old barns from the early 1800s to late 1800s is going to be expensive. So that's why we just search out. Right now, you know, we are local, and so it's about keeping, you know, our community and the wood from around our
that's
area.
Well, interesting. Some of the best wood we got came from right around the corner from our houses. A lady heard of us through my kid who goes to school, carpenter, through Facebook, and she called us over to her house, and she had all this wood coming down from her house that was an original Schindler house. I don't know if you know who Rudolf Schindler is, but he was
In the valley?
and he's got a couple historic museum
Architect.
he's an architect, but he has a couple of there's some museums in LA based on his work, and he's a Frank Lloyd Wright
Student.
protege.
Yeah.
He hired him, and then he basically was like Frank Lloyd Wright, and he has all these historic houses throughout the area, and we got some of the wood for one of those houses.
Well, you guys, you know, right now in the real estate market, you know, the biggest thing is they're tearing it down. Like in Manhattan Beach right now, you can't go anywhere without seeing 5 houses in a row that they're actually taking $1 million homes,
Right.
tearing a lot of it down, and then building bigger. Right? I mean,
Which is fine, but it's frustrating for us because in our local neighborhood too, they just come in and bulldoze them down in a
Yeah.
day.
oh, is that what they do?
And we try to, you know, meet with the developers and work out a deal to,
Give you notice?
Yeah.
and you know, it's hard to do
Because once
So,
they bulldoze them, the wood's
It's
done
gone.
because it breaks and
shredded.
pieces.
So would you come in if you did have notice, like if you did have a good thing with a contractor that said, hey, we're going to be doing this, and I wonder if you could do that through the city, though, get notices of when demolition or something was going to be taking place, or a purchase.
You can, but it's with the developer because they own it. So it's a liability issue for them,
Oh.
you know. But we do work with some demolition crews that you know, help us out here and there to.
So is the most
Give us notice.
is the most difficult thing for you is finding the wood. Once you find the wood, what's your process? How do you creatively come up to what am I going to do with it?
That's the best process, I think. We sit and, you know, we have a lot of people that come to us with ideas, and we just had a lady, her name was Melissa, and she just got married on Saturday. So she came to us one day real quick on the site and said, I need a bar for my wedding, and it's going to be a present for my husband, and then, you know, it'll be in our backyard. So then it's the process of meeting with her. We show her some of the different woods, you know, types of colors, you know, types of wood, and she loved it and loved our site, loved what we have done. And next thing you know is we
Oh, wow.
built her a bar, and they used it at the wedding, and we even branded in her logo into the side of the bar for.
Here you have their like initials here.
Mhm, yeah. And so that's the amazing.
I'm looking at a picture. Are
Yeah.
you looking at this picture, Peter? Do you have that
That's not
one?
on.
We don't have
You
that
don't have
picture
it?
here.
That was so
Yeah.
new. We hadn't
Yeah.
gotten it
Okay.
on the computer.
That is so
But it's
cool.
a perfect example of just how exciting that process is, and
It's a gift that lives forever,
it
Barton,
is.
you know?
It is, and you know, she has no clue what's going to show up, and we showed up with this bar, and I mean, she started crying right before her wedding.
So
it's
most,
amazing.
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful because it will live forever.
That was for somebody's 5th wedding anniversary the other day.
And what is
Because wood is the thing for
the 5th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
and that's their names.
What is it?
So
Anthony?
her husband had actually carved that into. They worked in the industry on a show, and when the show was done, they all carved in something into the table that was on the set.
Uh-huh.
And her husband had written that, you know, and she loved it, and she came up with the idea of. She just said, "I just want something to say our names," and you know, something with reclaimed wood. And Anthony and I got together, and that's what we came up with. And so she just surprised her husband with it for their anniversary, and it turned out amazing. And she's just that's
the fun part.
The fun part, yeah. You know, it's the design with, the customer, the client is great, but then we put our own
They
love.
allow you to
Yes.
take your own creativity,
Yeah.
and because it wouldn't be the same thing if they came to you and they said, I want a bar that looks like this, it's got
Right.
this and turns here and it does this, right? It
Right.
just wouldn't be the same thing.
We have some of those clients too, which is fine. I mean, people know what they want; they should get what they want. But for us, it's more fun to have a little leeway.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever get those clients who are like, hey, I saw this thing in Crate and Barrel and
Yes.
I want something that looks like that, and you
Yep.
guys are just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Are you no, or are you okay, or are you, our list is very full right now of clients.
Money's always good. So it's not.
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
turning people away is not.
But do you
No.
try and
Good
talk
idea.
them into something more creative?
Yeah, for the most part, it's fun to be. We're a little more custom, so we can
Yeah.
make it fit their space and appeal to their space, a little better.
Yeah.
My brother retired from a year for 40 years, a job for, he was in this job for a long time, and he's only a couple of years older than me, but he retired with a lot of money, and, he can enjoy his life. And the one thing that he did was he became a woodworker.
Mm-hmm.
He makes things. He has a whole place up in Big Sur that he built a special little house on his
great.
piece of property
Yeah.
where that's all he does. He goes, Wendy, you can come visit me, but you won't see me because I will be in my woodworking house the whole time, and
That
it's
would be me.
Yeah, it's beautiful, the things that he does,
Mhm.
I admire that, because here's a husband joke, right? And my husband doesn't even know what a piece of sandpaper is or whatever,
Yeah,
so
sure.
forget about it, right?
Sure.
And IKEA is also out of the question with him because he can't put it together. But let's see. So, do you want to do a break?
Yeah, it
Real
would be a
quick?
good time for a break to talk about our sponsor.
Okay. Well, don't they have a commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we're going to go ahead and run
All
a
right,
commercial,
well-
and then
well-
we can get more into the marketing end
Well,
of the
actually,
business.
Peter, can you do me a favor? Can you just run Scott's commercial and then run Easy Go Pro at the same time so we don't have to do that again? Is that possible?
That is totally possible.
Okay. And then we'll turn the audio down so we can talk a little bit during the
All right.
commercial.
So here we go.
Okay.
We'll be back on the
commercial
C-Spot,
break.
going to market with Wendy and Peter.
Direct Avenue is much more than a leading direct response TV media buyer. We specialize in the expert planning, brand building, analysis, and management of short-form and branded DRTV ad campaigns. We manage direct response TV ad campaigns for clients throughout the United States and Canada. As a Direct Avenue client, you'll benefit from big agency relationships and resources, but receive boutique agency service with the flexibility and creativity to plan and manage a TV ad campaign that meets the particular needs of your company. For more information, visit directavenue.com. When you contact us, mention you heard about us on the C-Spot radio show and receive a free analysis of your TV ad campaign.
In an average lifetime, 1,500,000 minutes are spent on the toilet.
People spend a lot of time on the toilet because they're not going very easy.
So, what's the problem?
When you sit on a toilet, you're at a 90-degree angle.
Nature didn't want us to do it that way.
This causes pushing, straining, hemorrhoids, constipation.
That's crazy.
Everybody goes.
It's what we all do. We're human beings.
We want to create a product that is great for humanity.
Making it easy for people to improve their lives.
That's all we care about.
Well, go time just got easier. Introducing Easy Go Pro, the only way to go.
Human bodies are made by nature, and there is a position that is more natural than sitting on a toilet with a 90-degree angle of your legs.
Anatomically, we were designed to eliminate at a 35-degree angle.
What EasyGo Pro does is it elevates your feet.
To put your hips in the proper position for easier elimination.
You just sit, lift, and go in a natural position.
The benefits list is this long from a pure health perspective.
A healthy colon is encouraged by doctors for all ages.
The key to vitality, it's the key to longevity, it's the key to your health.
That is really the essence.
Easy Go Pro is simple, safe, and it works. Sturdy but lightweight, it's perfect for the entire family. When not in use, it slides easily out of the way.
Is like the perfect height for a 2-year-old to rest his feet on.
If you make that little change, you will realize immediately the benefits.
And that's the reason that we created it.
At EasyGoPro.com, we guarantee it will work for everyone. Be a healthy goer. Order now at EasyGoPro.com. Try it for 70 days. If you don't absolutely feel better, just send it back for a full product refund. Go time just got healthier at EasyGoPro.com.
And we are back on the C Spot, going to market with Wendi and Peter.
Oh my God! You just showed me a squirrel swing. It's a swing you make to put in a tree.
Yes.
I have thousands
sounds
of squirrels
adorable.
at my house.
Out of reclaimed wood.
Squirrels got a swing too.
Yep.
Oh, that is so cool.
I'm telling you, it's amazing. They'll sit in there. So you put in little nuts and shells. So they sit in there with their little bellies right there, and they're just sitting there eating.
We give them a little beer. There's a little beer up there.
It's perfect.
You've seen them use it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh wow! I thought you were being facetious.
No.
There's a video out there
amazing.
somewhere.
No.
One of them using it too.
Yeah.
I
It's on my phone.
have to have one. I have to get one of
God.
those because I'm telling you, the squirrels in my front yard are our entertainment. They
Yeah.
fight with the crows.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I hear them talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I
You
also
will
hear them
never
doing other
laugh.
things.
They're
That's
probably
hard.
they're probably saying, "I wish this lady had a swing for us."
Probably.
And that's such a great idea to be like a
It is.
mass market item for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unique. That's
Yeah.
the thing about it.
That is so cool. That is great. Okay, so let me ask you this, because we do like to talk about marketing. How are you bringing your business to market? Anthony, you said that it's only been about 4 or 5 months. You've done a lot. What are your ideas for that? What are some of your concerns? And what are your plans to do that?
Well, right now it's been a lot of word of mouth.
All word of mouth.
And
right
friends that have referred
Luckily,
us to
yeah.
people, and it's been going good. But we've reached a point now in our growth where we could probably take it up to the next
Can you
level.
scale? Can you scale up? I mean, with growth comes scaling.
Well, we
more
always have that
resources.
discussion. I mean, we talked about it early on about how fast or how slow you want to grow the business. And I think now we're at a point where we want to step up a little bit. Yeah?
Yeah, we do. We also use commercial businesses that we've done.
Right.
All their, signs, shelving, tables, counters, all reclaimed wood, and we get a lot of referrals through those. So with that and word of mouth right now is where we're at.
And we'll take a look at a couple of those. We're looking right now at a store called Oaks and Meadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you guys, did you do that sign right there on the building?
Yeah, we all the furniture, the hutch, the table, the counter, the sign.
And then now we're looking at a store called Robin Davis.
Yes.
And that's your creation too, the sign?
Yep, both of those are in
Beautiful.
Studio City, and that sign's from the 1922 redwood from the Beverly Hills Mansion.
And then the picnic-looking table inside, and
Mhm.
the hutch is all your creation in that store.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's beautiful looking.
So this is green. This is being
Right.
extremely green.
That's the thing, yeah.
Right?
That we're really proud of that. We put that back into the world instead of it just being wasted somewhere.
There's which is amazing. There's so many, like on Abbot Kinney, there's Gelini's or whatever it's called. There's and in Manhattan Beach, there's the Post. And I know that these farm to table restaurants really kind of also have that feeling, or that green feeling to them. And I know at the Post, and I think at Gelini's, or however the hell you say that, they have these long wooden tables that they do. So that kind of blends the whole story together, possibly, right?
Right.
And we do a lot of big dining tables.
Yeah.
We've just finished one for these lovely people in Tarzana, their backyard, and it is an 8-foot table and then 2 leaves. It extends out at the ends and turns into an 11-foot table with a bench and 6 chairs. And
I have to. What I'm going to do is when I get the show, I never send the show to my brother. Because it's like, but I am going to send this show to him because he's going to love this stuff, and God only knows what he needs to furnish.
And how about,
seriously?
How about this? We're looking at a picture right now. It's like a big gate. It's like a beautiful, deep, rich wood.
Yeah, that's the gate to my house. It had an old iron gate there, and you know, it was nice, but I just wanted to step it up.
Yeah,
throw
it's
some
beautiful.
wood.
looking.
Yeah, put a little character into it with a little wrought iron.
My God, there's so many things you can do.
It really is.
You know,
That's what people don't realize. There's so many. They have things in their house. A lot of times, Bart will say, "Well, we can just put a top over that table." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you just build the top and put it over the old table.
Yeah.
So,
dang, I had
So
a really good question and I lost it.
Does the marketing become overwhelming then? Like, which angle do you attack on the
Yeah.
marketing? Like, because you've got so much you could do.
yeah, and it's also hard because we're working all day building the wood, building the furniture. I mean,
Right.
So
That's the
when do you-
scalability. That's when
yeah.
do you have time to do it? That's
Right.
you know, we call that the entrepreneur's curse, right?
Mhm.
And that curse can stay with you for many years. You know, it's sometimes you find it, well, it's easier if I do it myself because it just takes too long to explain or find the right person or whatever. So then, you know, the entrepreneur starts to, you know, well, I've got to run this over to FedEx, you know, but I mean, there's all of these things that as an expert, as an entrepreneur myself, you know, the struggle is always, how do you scale something that is so unique that, you know, my entrepreneurship and my creativity, it comes from me.
Right.
And it comes from you know, it comes out of your heart and your soul and into whatever work we do. That is a really difficult thing to grow.
It's one of the hardest
Yeah.
parts, you know, is finding people that have the same ability and
care as much.
Care, and get it.
Right.
They have to get it, you know.
Because typically you would have someone that is out finding you new business.
Right.
You know, or working online to disseminate your talents and your product and doing something online, which is really the word of mouth. All of my business for 20 years has come from word of mouth.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily always mean it's qualified business.
Right.
So having the website really is kind of a really great first step.
Yes.
I was in a meeting just yesterday, and I wanted to, sorry if you're listening, I wanted to shoot myself at one point. Why? Because I said, they started asking, one person starts asking me all of these questions about who I am, what I do, and I said, did you visit my website before you invited me to lunch?
Right.
You know, because a qualified meeting is so very important
Sure.
when you are just you two. Right? You really want people to visit a website, see what your work is all about. Same thing with me, see the commercials that I do and my you know, kind of my creativity of what I do and everything. And then let's get together, because now they say, well, I really kind of like what the gate look like, or the table here, or the barn, or the bar stool chairs, you know. So from a marketing perspective, it's always really great. You know, the website is one thing. You have a blog though too, don't you, Barton?
Yeah. The lady that started my website, she's getting all that going on there.
It's all really important.
We also we work with a couple designers, and one of the designers that we worked with got us on Houzz.com, Houzz, and it's a place where people can go looking for designers and builders and things like that, and we're trying to see if that's going to generate anything.
Yeah, and finding influencers, right? So your influencers and your bloggers are influencers, okay? And so if you find the bloggers that talk about home design or, you know, redecorating or something like this, and you get yourself into their blogosphere, you know, it's really just doing a little bit of research, finding the bloggers that are influential in your category, and they'll write about you, and they'll put the links in. Of course, they're going to want probably a squirrel swing.
Right.
Send them something.
I think we can make that
seriously, send them a squirrel swing.
Yep.
But these are the kind of things that get the bloggers really talking, and just make sure that the bloggers have it. And another thing to do, here's just a few suggestions that I'm giving you. I'm exploring and learning more about this sensation that is happening with the younger demographic on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube and you start to, and I don't care who it is that you're going to watch, I happen to be watching the young girls that are out there that every single day they do an 11-minute, hey, watch how I put my makeup on with these products. Do you know that they make a boatload of money because they're sent by brands products to kind of talk about, but they put it in their video presentation that they do every day, and they're wacky and they're funny and they're cool, but they teach something, right? To maybe have your own YouTube channel where every day you just give a tip on what you do or how to do this or whatever it might be, or look at, even it could be really interesting to follow your process of a project, right, from start to finish.
That's a great idea.
Because it doesn't cost you anything to do that.
Right.
It just doesn't cost you anything to do it. And it's, you've got the links, you've got the visual, you have the presentation, you can be funny, you can get into fisticuffs every once in a while. No, I don't like that, whatever.
That's one thing I was going to say is what comes with Anthony and I is a lot of humor.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
There's
right.
And it always ends with a beer at the end of the day.
So there's like
pretty comical stuff that happens between us.
That's the reason that I do my radio show. Hello, it's this. I don't make money doing this, but I do it because I love doing it, and it brings your personal brands together with your product, right? Which is going to be a lot of the reason that people are going to want to work with you.
Right.
So until they see you, hear you, feel you, and have that story and emotion, it's so easy to do a 5-minute, hey guys, here it is, and here's where we're at, watch what we're going to do. It's 5 minutes, boom, 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 and you can easily pull that up and post it up on YouTube.
Yeah, even if it's just your camera phone video, that's plenty good enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes the more raw it is, the better it is.
Yeah.
Not overproduced.
Not overproduced. Yeah. You could have the girls could walk in, or I don't know, something can happen, but you can just have fun with that. And YouTube is a huge, I know it's cliche, but it's not, because people are making a lot of money on their YouTube channels.
Wow.
Even talking about all the sawdust that you're always experiencing in your hair and fingers.
On my sunglasses right now.
It could be funny. That could be a point. When here goes my brain. Here it's going. Okay, so what's the best shampoo to use to get the sawdust out of your hair?
Right. Shampoo?
No, seriously.
What?
Then you get paid. No, but you get paid by the brand.
That's
correct.
true.
You get paid by the brand to say, hey, I want to be
how
part
to
of
use
that.
a Q-tip to get the wood chunks out of your eyeballs.
Right. Or your ears or your teeth. That's if you're chomping on.
Right.
But anyway, those are all ideas how to build. Anyway, this morning I was sitting there thinking, I should just have this 5-minute YouTube channel on how, when you're over 50, how to put makeup on. I don't know if anybody has that. They have a lot of young ones.
Go for it.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be needed out there.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you guys are not only doing something that comes from your heart, but also I asked you during the break, if this is something that you learn, right? I mean, and it doesn't seem to be, it really kind of has to come from this, the soul or whatever. I mean, did you set out to learn to do it, or was it just something that you woke up?
I think it comes from both, for sure. Definitely with my heritage and Anthony's heritage. Just woodworking was a part of it. I feel like I get that from my family heritage. And then it's also a learning process. So, like I said, growing up in Fargo, I built custom decks during the, summers during high school and in college. And so just constantly working on. And then throughout the rest of my life, I would always build my own furniture, And so I think it's a little bit of both. And how about you, Anthony?
Yeah, and we're still, actually it's interesting too, because we're still building things sometimes that we've never built before or worked on before. I know today we were talking about how the thing we're working on now, we were like, wow, this is something never did. This is a little more complex than we thought, and we learned how to do it.
It was quite the morning.
Yeah.
That was just a morning?
Well, no. We've been working on it for a couple days.
Yeah.
But a lot of mine came out of necessity for when I moved into our house with Alicia and before we had kids, and we would get these old antiques, but they weren't that great. And I learned how to I refinished all our furniture, almost all of it, and stripped it down to nothing and got it back to where it was. The antique dealer came back to our house and said, wow, you just made yourself a lot of money.
Did you do it at all when you were a kid, or?
I did a little stuff with my brothers when I was a kid, yeah. And it was always in our, we'd build some stuff for fun, like forts in particular, or, even like little tables and stuff, and just play with the tools mostly.
Did you have to take wood shop in school?
I
Back
never
in
did.
the day you had to
I
take
should
wood
have,
shop.
but I never did.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, I always joke with my brothers about wood shop. I
didn't feel it back then. I mean,
'cause
I
it's something
enjoyed
you
it.
had to do.
But my whole family. My uncle lives an hour outside of Fargo and has a whole mill on his farm.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's just constant. We've, every one of my uncles has a wood shop, and we've just always doodled around. Just always
I
worked.
think it's like a fourth generation thing where you're fourth generation, third generation woodworking.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
Anthony, where'd you grow up?
I was born in Rochester, New York,
Uh-huh.
but I was raised in Seneca Falls, New York, and then I was in Manhattan for
A
my
long
adult.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
What was probably the last thing they would think, that you would end up reclaiming wood and creating things from wood? Or
I don't know. Way before I met Bart, I guess right before my first daughter was born, she's 11, I had a refinishing business of my own.
Oh.
Refinished furniture. Yeah, because once I did it for myself, people saw it and it started to go. And then I advertised in the Penny Saver.
How did you guys meet?
We're neighbors.
Oh, you're neighbors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I moved in with my girlfriend 2 years ago, and she lives right across the street from Anthony.
And do you have a wooden gate?
I don't. I have a metal gate, but maybe we could put
Your
some
wife
wood on. I don't
wants
know.
a wooden gate.
I think she does. I'm trying to think if it would go with that. I guess it would in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you could do a Spanish wooden gate. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, down there at the cartels, they've got big old wooden gates.
But I'd have to put it over the gate that's there now. It's a big metal gate like he did. He just put it over.
Oh, you put it over it. You didn't
Yeah,
take
just
down
a way
the
to
metal gate.
give,
It's like
an
a
old
facade?
iron gate.
Is it a facade?
Mhm. Give it just some character with some reclaimed wood.
They need frames anyway when you build them. So
Yeah,
it just works as the frame.
When I saw the gate, for me, I thought it was a big, thick wooden piece of wood, but it's not.
Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty cool to know, because it
Yeah.
really does. It has the perceived value of
Exactly.
looking like a.
Absolutely.
There's so many little things you can do, like that, just to really create something amazing.
Well,
So we have about 4 minutes left, so we should get their information and how people can reach you, because you've got a few different facets. You want people to reach you if they have wood, and people to reach you if they want one of your amazing creations.
I want people to reach me too if they have wood. Sorry, I had to throw that
Someone.
in there.
I was been waiting for that
threw a
joke to happen.
softball out there.
There's so many ways you
I know
can
we've
go
been
with
talking
it.
about wood all show.
I
and,
know.
like,
I've been
at some
sitting here
point-
going,
Who's gonna say
when's
it?
that going to happen?
But yeah, us
It's
three
Wendy.
guys are probably thinking like, "Oh, we can't say it."
No,
we
you know?
can't
so
say it.
thank
No,
God
it
Wendy
had to come
broached
from
it
Wendy.
It's always
finally.
going to come out of
Thank
my
you,
mouth.
Wendy.
All right, so go ahead.
How do
right?
people reach you?
How do people reach
so once
you?
again, our website is BartonSol.com. It's BartonSol.com. And there's an easy way to email us on there. And, also we have our phone numbers, 818-302-3484. And
Do you do anything with so and they're going to have a YouTube channel. It's going to be called BartonSol plus Anthony.
Yeah, how Anthony? You're not on the website yet. What's up with that?
He'd started this before I joined forces.
Okay.
He's too sexy to put
Or
on the
why don't we do
website.
this?
I
Why don't we?
know,
It would be too much. It'd be too much.
We
People
need
would be
to-
overwhelmed.
Overpowering.
You're going to have a Twitter handle. It's going to two hot guys with wood.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Write it down.
So
That's a keeper. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yep, two hot guys with wood.
we
Sorry, I crack myself up sometimes.
No, I'm glad you're making the wood jokes. That's awesome.
Well, I hope I would be. Oh,
Yes.
another wood.
What was that? What was the title of the show we were thinking of?
Wood chasers?
No,
No,
we came up with another
we
title.
came up with
Really sick.
Yeah, that sounds like
What was
a
that?
we
like
came
a
up
porno
with
title there.
Neighborwood.
Neighborwood?
Neighborhood, and what was the other one?
Oh, neighborhood.
Would
That's
you
kinda
if
nice.
you could?
The other one was more.
More gross.
Yeah.
Bangs with wood.
No, what the heck was that?
Girls chasing wood.
Or you could go with
We
something
could go on
really.
forever.
You can go with something simple like how much wood would a
Oh, I think it
woodchuck
was-
reclaim if a woodchuck could reclaim wood?
Right.
That'd be
I think
easy.
it was just called Getting Wood.
Oh,
Yeah.
getting
Oh,
wet.
yeah.
Starring Wendy
Right.
Cooper. No.
There's many ways we can go with
Yeah.
that one.
Anyway, it has been it's been an interesting show because it's I'm happy that you could be here, and now you could actually use this interview if you dare. You could cut it up. but as a marketing tool also. So that's the reason. It's how I met Anthony. Was Alicia was on my show. She had just written her book. Yeah. Published the book, and which became very successful. It was actually the last book I read from start to finish.
Oh, good.
But the C-Spot really is about helping entrepreneurs and helping people bring their product to market. In a way, we've turned this, since we've been at UBN, we've turned it more into just kind of let's talk, have fun.
What's your bag?
And talk about what's your bag, and have the visual aspect that we can hand you. We'll give you the link to the show, and you can do whatever you really want with it. You can cut me and Peter out of it.
We learned not to do that by the beginning of the show.
But you, it's been really great to have you here. It's great to see you. It's great to meet you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
And I really, 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 really hope I get a squirrel swing. I swear.
See what we can do about that.
That would be really great.
It's pretty cute.
I have this big party at 4th of July, which I have asked you guys to come with the kids. I don't know. Lisa hasn't answered me.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, I have it every year because in El Segundo they do the fireworks, and we live like at the top of the hill in our little small house, but they do a big street party, and we close off the street. Lots of kids, lots of bouncies, and then lots of international crowd come to our event because we don't have little kids. Right. But then the fireworks are right there. You just pull up a chair, and they're 50 feet away because they set them off in the park. So I don't know what you guys do, but it's fun, and we barbecue, and we eat and drink.
I think you need a big bar for that, too, out of reclaimed wood.
We need a big bar, and I definitely need a squirrel swing. I'm so simple. So anyway, Peter, is that the end of the show?
Yeah, we're at the end of the show. So we will be back next week at the same time. And our guest next week is Mr. Steven Greenberg, who wrote the book Gadget Nation.
Well, he wrote Gadget Nation, but I met Steven because he's this wacky guy, and he's the guy that brings things onto like the Today's Show or the morning shows, inventions and stuff. So that's really why I wanted hi, Steven, on the show. He's a crack up.
Yeah.
He's a crack up
so
guy.
That's next week on July 3rd.
Yeah. So I guess we got to wrap it up.
So we will be back.
If anybody wants to get in contact with me,
yes,
it's just Wendi at C-Spot Run. And next week we're going to spell my name right on my own show. Okay? Can we do that?
How did you do that? How'd you get that wrong?
Thank you.
That is a good one. So yes. So we'll see you all next week.
And
thank you.
Adios.